and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Julia. So today it's time for another delicious Halloween recipe, and today I am going to show you how to make some monster cakes. And the base of this cake is basically, in Danish we call it a mazarinkage, and in English I have no idea if I am pronouncing it correctly, but a frangipani cake, which is normally used or made with marzipan, and I am trying to do a cheap version today, or how we actually do a mazarinkage here in Denmark, which is that we just use some almond extract or essence. So yeah, I am using this here today, but you can easily just find a recipe online where they are using marzipan instead, or almond paste. But this is just kind of a cheap version of it, and it tastes delicious, and you can also easily just use a vanilla sponge cake. So what I'm going to use for my cake base is some flour, a lot of butter, milk and a lot of sugar, eggs, salt, baking powder, and my almond essence or extract. And then here I have some purple food coloring paste, but you can just use whatever color you want to be inside of your monsters. First step is to melt my butter together with my milk over at my stove. So I'm just going to add my milk into my pot here. And I'm just going to place this here over at my stove and turn on the heat. And not too high, because we don't want this here to boil. But when all my butter is melted, I'm just going to take my pot off the heat and just let it cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes, and after that I will return. So now that my butter is melted into the milk and it's just cooled down for about 10 minutes, I am ready to make my cake batter. And into my bowl here I'm just going to add in all of my flour, and all of my baking powder, all of my salt, and all of my sugar. And just give it all a good mix. And into this mix here, I'm just going to add in all of my milk and all of my butter. And I'm just pouring my milk and butter mix into my bowl here. Just mix it all together until it's all well combined. And my oven is already 155 degrees C, convention oven. You can also just have it on 170 degrees C and no convention, just regular oven. But now I'm just going to pour in all of my eggs. Just stir them in until everything is well combined. And now it is time for all of my almond extract or essence. I am just going to add in about 3.5 tablespoons. And just half more, like that. I am just using almond essence in this. If you are using extract, it could be a lot stronger, so just keep a thought on that. Other than that, if you get it in these bottles here, it probably won't be so strong, so just use those 3.5 tablespoons. But if you are using extract, well, just see if it's stronger and then just use less in here. And now it's time to add in my purple food coloring paste, and I'm just using a fork here to get it up, and you want quite a bit in there. And just stir it all around until it's well combined. And you just decide how strong you want the color. If you want it even stronger, just add in a lot more. And this here is my finished cake batter. I am just going to pour it into a deep baking sheet. I'm using that as a baking tin today, so it's going to be quite a big cake. But when that is poured in, I'm going to place it in the oven to bake for about 45 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean from the cake. And when it is done in the oven, I'm going to let it cool down completely before the next step. So my cake is now done in the oven. It got around 40 minutes in there and it is completely cool. So now it's time to get going with our blue buttercream. And for that buttercream I am going to use some vanilla extract. I'm using one with seeds in, but you could easily just use one without them. Then I'm going to use a little splash of milk, some icing sugar and some butter. And I'll just cut it all into some smaller cubes before I am adding them in. And when my buttercream is done and I'm ready to decorate my cakes, I also have these sugar eyes here. So I'm just going to add all of my icing sugar into a stirring machine. And then I'll just cut my butter into some cubes and add in there as well and just start the machine. And when it's all well mixed, I'm going to add in my vanilla extract and a splash of milk until the icing has the consistency that I want. And after that, I'm going to add in my blue food coloring paste and just color it until it has the color that I like. And after that, I will return. So now that my buttercream frosting is done, I have just added it into a piping bag like this, and then I have a tip like this out here. I don't know if it is focusing right. No, there. Just to kind of make it look like monster hair. But now I have my cool cake here, and I've just cut it into some smaller pieces. And of course I don't have all of my cake here. I have saved a lot of it, added into the freezer so I can take some up and serve some purple cake for some guests. Right now I'm just going to make 6 monster cakes, and I have this cookie cutter here, and I'm just going to place it onto the cake and just press down all the way down. And don't mind that there is going to be a lot of leftover cake. You can easily just eat it. But I am going to save my cake leftovers because later on my channel here, I am going to show you a delicious recipe where I'm using some cake leftovers. So don't forget to save those and just add them into the freezer. But now I have this here, and then it's just all about getting it out like that. And I'm just going to do this with my left 4 pieces here. And then I have 6 of these because I've already made one before I made this. And when I've done that, I will return. So I have now made 6 of these small cakes here. And now I'm just going to decorate it on top and all the way around the sides with my blue frosting here, or buttercream. And when I've done that, I am going to place 1 or 3 of these eyes here on, and when I've done that to all of the 6, they are ready to be served. You can also keep these in the fridge just for a day or 2 until you are going to serve them for the guests, so you can easily make these here a day in advance. So I really hope you enjoyed the recipe for my monster cakes. They are also quite funny to eat because you get blue lips, blue teeth and a blue tongue of eating these. So that is kind of a true monster cake, and if you want to give these here a go, just go down my description and you will find all the ingredients down there. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel here, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow. Bye!